Okay, okay, we are recording and I'm looking at the chat box. It is going absolutely nuts. We already have over 100 people on our Zoom call today, and we're talking about how to thrive in uncertain times. We're not talking about how to survive in uncertain times. We're talking about how to thrive, guys. We are thrivers. We are, thriving is a choice, okay? Thriving is a choice. Arttemis Kasane is on the call with me here today. And actually, while I'm doing that, let me make, I'll do this here in a minute. I need to make you a co-host, Arttemis, but I'll remember to do that. Let me just make you a co-host right now. Okay, I got you as a co-host. All right, cool. And just a couple of house cleaning rules, or housekeeping, I should say. There's a navigation bar at the bottom. Be sure to keep yourself muted because we have a lot of people. I'm seeing there's already over 130 people on the call right now, and that can cause some craziness to happen with Zoom when you get this many people on. There were over 600 people that registered. A lot of people registered, but they have other commitments, so they want to get the replay. There will be a replay because we're recording, okay? So there will be that. Let me go to my slides, but before I do that, I just want to encourage you guys to not lose hope. I know you've been getting a lot of encouragement. I've got a string of videos that I'm pushing out for YouTube. We had to actually put the kibosh on a lot of the YouTube videos that I was putting out because, we schedule us YouTubers, we schedule our videos. Oftentimes we schedule those, sometimes a month in advance. Okay. So I noticed that some videos were still going out like, hey, how to be successful and how to do this. And wait a minute, hold on. We have to stop those videos going out. And we have a whole new series of videos that I've been recording every single morning. And actually every single day I've been doing a webinar just like this one to different groups. This is the one that I've opened up for every single real estate agent everywhere, no matter where you're from, what agency you're with, it does not matter, okay? It could be RE/MAX, Caldwell Banker, Century 21, Keller Williams, or EXP where I am. It does not matter. We are here for you. I'm here for you. Uncle Knolly's got your back, and I want to see you reach your ultimate success. So many of the things that we teach and have been teaching as teachers have become a bit outdated in the last couple of weeks. This big bad boy right here, Success with Listings. All right, we're putting it on the shelf for just a little while. It's okay. It's okay. It's coming back. We're going to put it on the shelf for just a couple of weeks. We'll bring it back out because all of this stuff is going to be so relevant. And what I'm going to teach you today is going to be so relevant to the future market, I should say. And what I want to share with you is, and I talked about this, and I'll be sharing more of this with you in subsequent videos, but what you're going to see, okay, I'm going to say, Knolly, what's your prediction? I'm going to throw out my prediction real quick for what it's worth. I see that this will continue to go on as it is for about another 3, 4, or maybe even 6 weeks. Okay, I'm going to timestamp this. Right now we're in March. We're at the end of March, March 26th to be exact. I should remember that because my anniversary is tomorrow. Okay, actually it's tomorrow. 28-year anniversary is tomorrow. My wife and I, a beautiful woman, and I can't think of a better person to be holed up with for the time being than my beautiful wife. So we're celebrating 28 years tomorrow. So right now we're at the 26th of March, and I see that we're going to have another 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks, okay, of this, maybe. And not as bad as it is now, but it's still going to kind of, it's a little bit of a bell curve, okay? And I look at around July, okay, maybe the first week of July, where the sun will come out and we'll actually sort of feel like normal again, okay? Because social distancing sucks. I mean, let's just say it. It's not something we like. And you're like, Knolly, what are we going to do till then, man? We got things to do. Well, some of you guys are still doing deals. I know I took 4 listings last week. A number of you guys took listings or been taking listings, but a lot of that is time out, right? So let's get into it, guys. Let's get right into it. We got 176 people, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go straight to, let me move some things around. All right, so this is how to thrive in uncertain times. And let me do, okay, here we go. All right, so thank you guys for being here. I love each and every one of you. I care about you, and that's the reason why I put this together. I know there's a lot of training floating out there, but Arttemis and I, we got your back. We love you, and we want to see you successful through this. So here's what we're going to talk about: 3 secrets to thriving in today's uncertain market. Now, you guys can see my screen, yes? Let me. If you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay, good. So secret number 1 is how to reload. So we're going to really be talking about how to reload, how to rebound, and how to rewire. So secret number 1 is how to reload so that we can take appropriate action steps that will lead to ultimate success going forward. Now, what is that? What is that? That is appropriate action steps. See, I see a lot of people, guys, that are taking action steps, but they're not appropriate action steps. So we're going to talk about that. Secret number 2, how to rebound quickly, like in the next 2 weeks, so that we can get you poised for success in this market and generating that consistent $10,000 a month over the next 18 months, okay? Now, when will that begin to start happening? We'll talk about that, okay? Now, and secret number 3 is how to rewire your mind so that we will thrive in any market and never be caught with your pants down again, okay? So the truth is, many of us were caught with our pants down. Okay, we were not prepared for this, and we, in some ways, should not have been. Okay, so this is not an indictment against us in general, but it is to say that, generally speaking, there are better ways to prepare in the future for success for when things like this happen. Okay, so now what I want to talk about here, guys, is I want to talk about the trajectory, I should say, of what happens in terms of when things like this occur in our world. The very first thing that you're going to see is panic. Okay, people start to panic, and you saw a lot of that. If you were one of those that been watching the news, you saw a lot of panic. And by the way, I was during the short sale days. I did a whole lot of mitigating people in their crisis, in their problems. From 2007, 2008, 2009. And who was panicking? Okay, guess what? I was one of the guys that was panicking, but I was also trying to help mitigate the problem. All right. In 2009, and this is my own personal story, in 2009, I was recognized as one of the top 7 real estate agents in the city of Austin, Texas. That's out of 9,800 agents. There are almost 10,000 agents in the city at the time. And Uncle Knolly was ranked number 7. That means there were, and that's by Austin Business Journal, based on production. That means there were only 6 agents that were doing better production than me, okay, in 2009. Now, at that same time, I was personally going through foreclosure of my personal home, okay? And this is the thing, guys. A lot of times people think that it only rains. Hold on one second, guys. I see some annotations going on. Somebody just made an annotation. If you could delete that, please. I had annotations. Let me see. Show. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so there's an annotation on the screen. So there's like a little yellow. I can't personally remove it, but if one of you on the call made that annotation, if you could just erase that, we would all appreciate it. And I just disabled annotations for the future, so we won't have that in the future. Okay, so the second thing so as I was saying, guys, I personally lost my own home during that foreclosure situation or that crisis, and so I know what people are going through. I've been through foreclosure. I've been through having to short sell a home, and I also have personally, gone through bankruptcy. So I know panic is the first thing. The second thing that happens is fear. We get into fear, guys, and we're afraid, okay? And then the third thing that happens is we get numb, okay? We get numb. And the numbness comes, and here's how it looks, okay? First, it starts off as panic, then it goes into fear, and then we're just numb, okay? We're just numb. We don't even know how to feel at all. Okay. And and this is just normal. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to know that this is the normal state of the Homo sapien. And by knowing that this is how we normally operate in situations like this and saying, oh, that's what that is. Oh, Uncle Knolly told me this was going to happen. It's not going to, let me not make as big a deal out of this. Let me make a lesser deal out of it. Okay. Remember the Apostle Paul, this is what he was up to during shelter in place. Okay. Those of you that are stuck at home, remember the Apostle Paul was on house arrest and he wrote 2/3 of the New Testament while he was behind bars. Okay. And quite frankly, it's possible that much of the New Testament would have never been written had he not been, basically at a place where he couldn't get out and do stuff. So what is it that God has birthed within you? What kind of things, dreams and desires can you begin to manifest during this time? Now, and by the way, we do have an annotation on the screen. I know, my personality profile is going to drive me nuts. I'll try to ignore it, but somebody probably just annotated that by accident. Let me see if I can erase it. Yeah, I can erase it. Okay. So, and I turned off annotations for the future so it won't happen. Arttemis knows my personality profile, so he knows I get crazy like with that stuff. Okay, so reload. That's what we're going to talk about first. Reload. Secret number one is how to reload so that we can take appropriate action steps that will lead to the ultimate success, our ultimate success, or your ultimate success going forward. Okay. Number one, and by the way, these might seem a bit quirky and crazy to you, but the reload is very, very important. Number one, and you're taking notes, give thanks. Give thanks. I want you to write down or put in the chat one thing that you're thankful for right now. Just put in there one thing that you're thankful for. Let me see what you guys are thankful for. Health, family, another chance, blessings, my God, my husband, food. I don't see toilet paper here yet. Family, I see a lot of people saying family. Life, health, and strength. Being alive. Yeah, food in the fridge. And a chef husband. Oh, Summer says a chef husband who lost his job. Our hearts go out to my grandbabies, another chance. Yeah. So we still have a lot to be thankful for. And scripture says that in all things, give thanks. Well, you mean in the middle of COVID-19, I'm going to give thanks? Scripture says in all things. I lost my job. Well, scripture says in all things, give thanks. I'm thankful that, here it is. A week ago, I could actually get in my car, drive over and get a cup of coffee. I can't even do that today. Okay. So many of the things that we took for granted, we're now seeing were blessings, were special blessings in our life that we just totally took for granted. I see a lot of you guys continue to put your thanks. Yeah. Write down what you're thankful for and continue to cloud-based technology. Sam says he's thankful for that. No doubt. So the second thing is realize that ain't nothing strange. When I grew up, in when I was 10 years old, my mom had the bright idea to move the family out to Los Angeles. Well, it just so happened that we could only afford to live in South Central. So we moved to South Central LA, and I was actually raised in Los Angeles from the time I was 10 to the time I was 18. And we had a saying out there, those of y'all that know about this, it says, ain't nothing strange. So we would go up to our boys and say, hey man, what's going on with so-and-so? We say, man, ain't nothing strange. And then we start to explain to him why it's no big deal. Ain't nothing strange. So that's been my new little saying that, ain't nothing strange. That's my little, y'all know I got a little hood in me. Y'all see it come out sometimes when I start to really get, the Holy Spirit really jumps up in me. That hood comes out a little bit. But just realize, guys, that it ain't nothing strange. These things have happened before. We have had apocalyptic type times. Remember the swine flu was not too long ago. Remember bubonic plague. If you read about that in school, remember that was fatal in 30 to 90% of people that got it. The bubonic plague. If you got bubonic plague, that wiped out like a third to half of populations. Okay, so it really ain't nothing strange. Let's look at it for what it is, and make that kind of a new saying. The third thing is to remember this is only a test. Okay, this is only a test. Let me Yeah, we got, I just want to make sure everyone's muted. Okay, so yeah, just realize, guys, this is only a test, all right? Remember back in the day, I know this dates me, but back in the day, they would come up on TV. This is only a test of the emergency broadcasting system. Yeah, if this was a real emergency, you know, so just realize as a Homo sapien race, we have gone through a lot of tests, guys, and this is a test. See, my wife and I used to have a saying that said, people are like tea bags. You never know what kind you are until you're in hot water. And yes, this is hot water for us right now. This is hot water, but realize this is only a test, okay? This is nothing compared to what it could be or might be in the future, okay? And essentially with this only a test thing, you remember when you were in school and some of you guys just came up out of real estate school not too long ago. You remember when the teacher gave you an important assignment and the teacher said, the teacher said, hey, you know, we're going to have a test. It's coming up next week. We're going to have a big test, guys. And so she kept cramming into you the material so that you would learn this, learn that, and keep learning. And then when the test came, you didn't freak out because you knew it was a test. Well, guys, that's all life is. See, when God dropped us off in this realm, okay, we might be here for 30 years, 40, 50, 60, 100 years. We don't know how long we're going to be here. But during our time here, you got to realize this is a classroom, okay? This is school, all right? And when you're in school, tests come up from time to time. That's just the way school is, okay? So you just got to realize that this is only a test, okay? That's all it is. Now, the next thing, let me get back to my slides, is trust God. Okay, that goes without saying. That's in everything that I teach, but trust God, lean on him. Many of you guys are going back to your faith during these difficult times. Now, rebound, okay? Rebound. Secret number two is how to rebound quickly. I'm talking about in the next 2 weeks so that you can be poised for success in this market and generate a consistent 10,000 per month over the next 18 months. Now, I'm giving you guys a lot of big picture ideas, but we're going to unpack this, okay, later on. So don't worry. Number one, the first thing that Arttemis and I want you to do is we want you to take stock of the damage, okay? Get ready to start doing some writing. Take stock of the damage. Write that down. Take stock of the damage, okay? Now, what does that mean? That means that like during Hurricane Harvey, my wife and I were blessed to be able to spend a couple of weeks out there and help these people go through these difficult times that they were going through, okay? And this is a crew, this is me and a crew back then when I was at Knolly Williams, and we were actually helping people that had lost so much stuff through Hurricane Harvey. And the first thing that we did, guys, the first thing that we did was damage control. We tried to see how much damage are we dealing with? What is the situation, okay? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about right here next. Step one is I want you to create a monthly budget, okay? Write that down, create a monthly budget, okay? Create a monthly budget. Now, that's bare bones, okay? What is your monthly nut, okay? Then the second thing I want you to do is I want you to times that by 3, okay? We're doing damage control. Third thing you're going to do is look at it as this is your damage control number, okay? So what does that mean? That means, here's an example. Let's say it cost you, your monthly nut is $7,500 a month, okay? It might be a lot less than that. It might be more for some of you. And you times that by 3, that's your damage control number, $22,500, okay? Just write that down, guys. Just write that, whatever your number is. And you don't have to do this exercise now. You can do this later, but you're going to want to take stock of the damage. That's the first thing that you want to do. Why am I saying to times it by 3? I think that the damage is going to be at least probably a 90-day damage, okay? Because our ability to create income worldwide has been affected. Remember that every day, as Roger Hamilton teaches us, about $7 trillion flows, okay, every single day. Well, that's not happening right now. A lot of that revenue's been dammed up, and a lot of people are not getting paid, okay? And it's a trickle effect, right? Now, step 2 is figure out how much money you have coming in over the next 90 days. So look realistically at, okay, how much am I going to make? Okay, some of you guys have closings. I was talking to a guy that has 4 closings coming up over the next 2 weeks. You know, kudos to him for doing the work during the good time so that he can ride it out through the bad, right? Some of you guys didn't do the work, so we're going to have to work with you a little bit more. Then you want to determine how many homes you'll need to sell to cover your damage control number. Not that you're going to go out and sell those homes right now because everything's shut down right now, okay? But right now we're just doing damage control. We're taking stock of it. So for an example, if your average commission is $7,500 per house, then you're going to have to do 3 deals for that damage control. Okay, does that make sense? What that means is, or the final thing that I want to do and to talk about, or let me just reiterate this point. What we're going to do, step one, we're going to look at what the damage is. Okay, we're not going to put our head in the sand. We're going to look at the reality, and we're not going to say I'm screwed. We're not going to get into that. We're going to say this is the damage. Well, Knolly, I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to look at it. No. We're not going to go there. We're just going to look at it. We're going to touch it. We're going to stay with it. We're going to look at it. Then we're going to say, how many homes would it take for me to sell? Because now we got a big why, don't we? We got a big why behind it. And then the final thing I want to talk about is let's mitigate that number. Let's mitigate that number. What do I mean by mitigate that number? What I mean is let's cut out from that number everything that doesn't need to be, okay? So obviously over the next few months, you're only going to be paying the bills that are essential, okay? And by the way, some people are just going to find out that their mortgage payment is not essential right now. The rent payment is not essential right now. It just isn't. Now, I was talking to a guy a couple of days into this crisis. This was about a week ago. And he was like, man, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. And I said, don't pay it. And it was like, as if the solution never occurred to him. But you got to realize that when there's a situation, and now you're seeing these moratoriums happening, right? Because you got to realize that when a scenario like this occurs, okay, there's going to be a lot of people making those hard decisions. Okay, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that you got to mitigate that. Number 2, let your needs be known. Okay, let your needs be known. You know, Joseph Murphy, he's got a book. See if you can see this. He's got a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Okay, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And can you guys see that? You can see it, okay? Cool. All right, so in this book, and this is one of our books of the month that we have at Mentorship Masters. In that book, Joseph Murphy says, you know, the problem with most people is that they have no invisible means of support. They have no invisible means of support. Okay, so let your needs be known. That's scripture. And you're like, well, man, Knolly, I can't let other people know about my needs because they're in the same boat as I am. Well, that may be true, right? But scripture says, let your needs be known, okay? And most importantly, to Almighty God, and just put it out there in the universe. Say, hey, you know, whoever's listening, this is what I need, okay? Let your needs be known. 3 is to take massive action. You're like, Knolly, what kind of action do I take? Don't worry about that right now because I'm going to share with you the kind of action. Actually going to make one of the biggest probably the biggest announcement of my career right here on this coaching call. But take massive action. Take what kind of action? Massive action. This is not a time to be feeble, guys. We're going to have to take big and massive action. And then the 4th thing you're going to have to do is shift with the market. You're going to have to shift with the market. Okay. The market it's not shifting. It's not going to shift. The market has shifted. Okay. The market has shifted. Okay. The situation has changed. The situation has changed. And let me see. I see some chats here, some comments. Yeah. Okay. Good. Arttemis is sharing with you guys where to get that book. Don't go there now, guys. Don't get distracted. But Uncle Knolly and cousin Arttemis, he's younger than me, so I have to call him my cousin. You know, we're going to show you that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to show you real quick what's going on, and you may not be able to hear me that well, but let me just show you this. So this is what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to give you some big picture stuff here. Okay. Okay. So what you've seen in the past is that people have moved into the big house. Let's say this is the $800,000 home. Okay. The $800,000 house. And let's say that this house over here is 500. Okay. And let's say that this one's 300. What you're going to see, okay, what you're going to start seeing is a shuffling of the deck. I call it musical chairs, okay? People are going to start moving like this, okay? And I call it, we call it downsizing, but it's really called right sizing. So what you're going to see, guys, those of us that are prepared for it, you're going to see what I think is going to be the biggest boon in listings, okay, in recent history. The biggest boon in listings. Well, why is it going to be the biggest boon? Well, because this person that has the $800,000 house is going to realize they could actually live in a $500,000 home, okay, and almost cut their mortgage payment in half by doing it. Guess what? It's still got 4 bedrooms and 3 baths, still got running water, still got a nice backyard. It's not as luxurious, may not be in that neighborhood, but see, the big thing, the reason why most of us do what we do is for this. Not sure if you can see that, but we do it for status, okay? There have been a lot of, see, my mom has a master's degree in psychology, and there has been a lot of studies in psychology to see why the Homo sapien does what he or she does, okay? And the number one reason that we do what we do, guys, we don't want to admit it, that's okay, but it's for status. And I guarantee you, status is going to be replaced with security, okay? A lot of your clients moved into the homes that they're in right now because of status. It's the American dream. Well, what is the American dream? Oh, to have a big house, a big car, and a big mortgage payment? No, that used to be the American dream. Now we're going to trade status and what we could consider stupidity. We're going to trade it for security. I'd trade all that in right now for a roll of toilet paper, right? And a fridge full of food. You see what I'm saying? You see how people are starting to think? And what's happening, and this is the reason why Elizabeth Riley was on a call just last week, okay? And she was just calling through her database, talking to people just like you normally would. Hey, how are you doing during this pandemic? And the client says, look, I'm not doing so well. I need to sell my house. Well, the lady has a $2 million house, okay? She was not making prospecting calls, guys. Josie, my wife, she just made a call last night to a gal just to see how she was doing. Why? Because she's blind. And we want to see how she's doing. You know what she said? Or actually her daughter got on the phone and her daughter said, we need to sell this house. And Josie was like, well, how soon do you need to sell? She says, immediately. We're like, well, we can't go out right now, but as soon as we can, guess what? We're going to DocuSign you the document. See, here's what people are starting to think straight. Okay, let me say it again. People are starting to think straight. And when people start to think straight, just think millions and millions and millions of people saying, you know what? I need to do something differently. See, there's a reason why my wife and I live on 20 to 30% of our income. Okay, there's a reason for that. Because we got our butts kicked back in 2009 when we lost our big luxurious home. And we said, you know what? We could probably live in that house. Oh, yeah. It won't be the status won't be there. But guess what? We won't have a mortgage payment either, which we don't have. I haven't had a mortgage payment in 5 years, okay? And I'm not bragging on that. I'm saying that is something that many people are going to want to start pointing to is downsizing. And I call it right sizing, not downsizing, right sizing, okay? So you're going to see, when this happens, you're going to see tons and tons of people wanting to list their home. And guess what? When the guy with the $800,000 house lists his house, somebody with a $2 million house is going to buy his house. And the guy with the $800,000 house is going to buy this house. That means this guy's got to sell and move. And here's the easy conversation, guys. This is not the now conversation, but the easiest conversation later on, when the time is right, will be, hey, Sally, I just wanted to call and talk to you. I know you're in that big, beautiful house that I sold you, that $800,000 house. I know it's lovely, but did you know that right now there's 1,327 homes on the market that are around 500,000? And did you also know that this is what your mortgage payment would be if you were to right size or to downsize into that other house? Okay. So now you're going to become a consultant. You're going to become a leader. Yes, you're going to step up to the plate and you're going to lead your clients. With that, I want to talk about the top niches because there are some big niches coming out of this, guys. And let me share my screen with you because I want you to see what these big niches that Uncle Knolly sees. Now, remember when during the short sale time, we became one of the #1 short sale teams in the United States of America. #1.
You muted yourself.
Oh, I muted myself. Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Josie just popped in and let me know that I muted myself. Yeah. Julie, we hear your dog. Okay. I'm muted Julie. Okay. So, and by the way, let's just get into it. Oh, do I not? Okay. All right. We'll get into the top 5 niches in a minute. So just realize that that's happening. You're not going to do any business for a while. Okay. You're going to do a little bit of business for a while, but then the gates are going to open up and you're going to be able to help a lot of people. REWIRE, secret number 3, how to rewire our mind so that we will thrive in any market and never be caught with the pants down again. Now, here's what we're going to have to do. And in just about 10 minutes, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Arttemis Kassane, my coach, and he's going to kind of take us through, because Arttemis is a big mindset guy, okay? I hired him to get my mind right. He's been my coach for 4 years. Okay, so number 1, we're going to have to go back to focusing on listings, guys, okay? This is what I've been preaching. I'm going to keep preaching it. This is right here. You're going to have to focus on listings, okay? But Knolly, I like to work buyers. You know, let me pat you on the head and acknowledge that you like to work with buyers. I get that. But you probably like feeding your family and taking care of them even better, don't you? Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah, I get that. So listings, guys, is where it's at, okay? The number 1 reason why people don't focus on listings, okay, is fear. That's the main reason. They're just afraid, okay? Get out of fear and into action and start to focus on listings, number 1. Now, here's the top 5 niches I see coming down the pipe, guys. I'm going to rattle through these real quick because don't worry. Cousin Arttemis and Uncle Knolly are going to have another call where we're going to shake and bake and we're going to drill down on these niches so that you are not unprepared, so that you are reaching your ultimate success. Number 1, pre-NODs. Pre-NODs. So you guys might remember that I did a webinar that was just about a month ago, actually, called Niches Equals Riches. And that was with Land Voice. And we did, and actually, if you write down knolly.com/niche, N-I-C-H-E. No, I'm sorry, scratch that. Erase that from your memory. Landvoice.com/niche. Landvoice.com/niche. You can go and there's a link to that webinar. Don't go there now. Okay, don't go there now. But just write that down. And landvoice.com/niche. Okay, we did, and you got to go listen to that. It was a 1 hour where we talked nothing about pre-notice of defaults and the next niche, which I'm going to talk about. So pre-notice of defaults are people that have gone, you know, 20, I'm sorry, they've gone not 20 days, but they've gone 1 or 2 months past when their mortgage is due, okay? And then they get that NOD, okay? And by the way, 90+% of these people have equity, okay? We're not talking short sales, guys. These people now have equity, but they're still losing their homes. Bank of America did a study and they found that, and this was back in 2012, if a person misses 1 mortgage payment, they are 50% likely to be foreclosed on after just 1 payment missed, okay? So pre-NODs is big. And in Tampa, for example, there's been a 400% increase in pre-NODs even before people were talking about this pandemic, okay? So there's a big wave of NODs coming, guys. And guess what? All those people are going to have the right size. Old expireds, that's the other niche that we talked about on that call. And that's people that their houses expired in 2016, 2017, 2018, or even 2019, even back to 2015. And guess what? They're going to be ripe for a conversation about selling once again, okay? There's a whole system around that. Your sphere of influence. We just talked about that. you know, talking to them about right sizing and getting into the right, you know, the right size of a house. You know, that's the conversation that you're going to want to start having. Probate, that's going to be another niche that's coming out of this. Not only is it because a lot of people are going to be dying, not necessarily, okay, but probate is going to be a big thing that's coming in the future. You remember, there's so many people in the 50 plus category right now, which, by the way, is another niche. Write this down. I don't have it here, but write down 50 plus, 50 plus. People that are 50 years of age and older, they're going to be the first to think about, Esther, do you really think we need this big old house? No, we don't need this big house. Okay. Probate, divorce. Okay. Divorce. Now, I'm not predicting that divorce will go up, but I am predicting that during times like this, people get razor sharp on their focus and their clarity. And there's already people, you know, that are on the edge. They're living together, but they're on the edge of divorce. Okay. And so this thing like this can either draw people apart or it can bring us together. Okay. And there's going to be an uptick in, I believe there's going to be a potential for the divorce niche to emerge as something you should focus on. Number 6 is new home. Now I told you top 5. Is it okay if I give you a couple more? Are y'all okay with that? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, you're okay with it. All right. Is it okay if I over deliver? All right. So number 6, new home construction. Okay, Arttemis and I were talking about this. You're going to see an uptick in new home construction behind this. Why? Because people are going to be looking for, listen to the word now, affordable housing. Affordable housing. So listen to this. The person with an $800,000 house is going to believe that $500,000 home is affordable. Okay, there's going to be a whole new understanding of what affordable housing is. Okay, and number 7, renters, taking them to home ownership. See, renters going through this right now are beginning to realize, wait a minute, I really don't have anything to fall back on, do I? I don't even have a house, you know? And so people are starting to make some wise decisions out of this. I'll tell you that. So the second thing is that we want you to become a master, okay? I'm not going to unpack this right now, but becoming a master, this is the stuff I've been teaching you guys, because those that have become a master already, that have mastered these things, are not really caught with their pants down at this time. And this is what I call the 8 pillars. This is something that I came up with out of 31 years of entrepreneurship. Okay, I call it spiritual business mastery. Okay, it starts with mindset. Get your mind right first. Okay, Arttemis is going to help us with that. Then it gets into activities. What are the activities that you need to be doing? Then it goes into people, systems, and tools. That's what we call leverage. Then it gets into money. Okay, who taught you what you currently know about money? Think about that for a second. Who taught you what you currently know about money? Now, God rest his soul. My dad, you know, beautiful man. But my dad did not have anything to teach me about money. Okay, he taught me about a lot of stuff, guys, and I love him for it. Okay, but my dad never made more than $40,000 a year. And if I want to make $1 million a year or $2 million a year, when I was 29 years old, I made $2 million that year. Okay, so I've been making millions since I was in my early 20s or late 20s, I should say. So I could not learn that from my dad. Okay, so some of you guys are going to have to start looking out for new teachers to teach this stuff. Okay, and then accountability. Okay, you got to have an accountability partner, guys. If you don't have a coach, like Knolly, I can't afford coaching. You got to have an accountability partner. There's a right way to do it. And then training. Okay, these are what we call the 8 pillars. And then we've got the 4 bodies, guys. So important to understand this. We've got a spiritual body, a mental body, an emotional body, and a physical body. Scientists, by the way, have also discovered that the Homo sapien has 3 brains. Okay, we probably have more than that, but that's what they've discovered so far. Just Google it. You'll see that information out there. So number 3, you're going to have 3 months of reserves. Okay. Now I know this stuff that I'm teaching you right now is beyond your comprehension for a lot of people because you're in survival mode, and I get that. Okay. So don't worry about it for now. Okay. Don't worry about it for now. Just write it down because it's going to come into play later. So you got to have 3 months of reserves, guys. This has taught us that. Now, Dave Ramsey teaches that you have to have 6 months of reserves. But you guys are realtors. And since you only do half of what I say, just kidding. I'm saying 3 months of reserves is what you absolutely need. And then you're going to want to have multiple streams of income coming out of this. Multiple streams of income. Write that down. Yeah, those of us that only had one stream of income, by the way, there's 5 major streams of income that every one of you guys should have, okay? And one of them is working for hours, you know, trading your hours for dollars. That's only one stream of income. And when that goes away, you ought to have the other 4 rocking, okay? And then number 5, you've got to learn the rules of this realm, okay? That's what you have me and Arttemis for, is that there are certain rules in this realm that people just don't understand. You know, they're just principles, okay? You know, some of the greats like Albert Einstein, you look at Nikola Tesla, they all, what we're talking about, guys, is quantum physics, okay? Quantum physics, quantum mechanics. This is the realm where God lives, okay? And if you don't understand these basic rules, then you will always be indentured. Let me say it again. If you don't understand these basic rules, okay, you will always be indentured. We call it quantum physics. It's all the stuff that I teach, and it's where God hangs out. Okay, so, you know, maybe right now you guys might feel like this. I'm throwing a lot of information out at you. Let me look at some of the comments that you guys are saying. Let me look at some of the chat. Yeah, some accountability partner. Yeah. You guys are digging on that. Dave says 3 to 6 months, depending on the job. Yeah, good. Dave Ramsey. A single mother that works for the post office all her life. Yeah, that's tough. Christy says that with money, she was actually taught to spend money. Okay. And that's what a lot of us, that's where a lot of us are, right? We've been taught to spend money, not to you know, to be wise with it. So a lot of you guys probably feel like this right now. There's a lot of information that I'd like to share with you, even beyond what I've shared so far. And because of that, this is the biggest announcement of my life, I believe, except me coming to Jesus. That was a big announcement. Mary and my wife coming to Jesus. Those are big. Okay, so, but this is huge in my career life. I want to introduce you guys to Knolly Success Coaching. Okay, what is it? Well, here's what it is, guys, and here's what's going to help get you through this crisis and over the hump. Number 1, we've got weekly group coaching call with Knolly and Arttemis. Me and Arttemis are going to be on every single week. Why? How? To help you through the crisis. Okay, and how? We're going to share that with you. We have a members-only Facebook group. Okay, that's just for our members. We've got a library of coaching trainings for you guys, and an exclusive accountability partner. Now, Arttemis and I, plus the access to my resource library, okay? Now, Arttemis and I had been talking about this. I was praying about it. I was in my car, and I was like, Lord, this was last week. I was like, how are we going to help people, okay? And so here's what it is. Weekly group coaching call with me, members only Facebook group, the library of coaching trainings, exclusive accountability partner, live event training series. And we thought, hey, and this is, by the way, I originally priced this at $397 a month. $397 a month. You guys already know that ain't happening. And so I came up with a bright idea, okay, that, you know what? We're just going to make this $97 a month. That's it, 97 bucks. And I said, and you know what the Holy Spirit said? No. And I said, well, how much you want it to be? He said, we're going to make it, we're not going to make it 97. We're going to make it free, baby. We're going to make it free because people need help and they need it right now. So it's Christ-centered, okay? It's 100% free real estate coaching program that we're launching. It's a chance for me to give back, and it's sponsored by our Mentorship Masters group, okay? So here's the thing. I'm already teaching every single, and I've already gone to my Mentorship Masters and asked for permission to do this. I'm already teaching them every single week. I'm just going to open the doors and let you guys all come in and feel the love. Because here's the thing. And by the way, this will never have a price. Okay. It's not an upsell. There's no side. Y'all know I like to sell stuff. I like selling stuff. I do like to sell me some stuff, but there's never going to be there's no upsell, side sale. This is me doing my part because I know how to teach. I know how to coach. I know how to get you to your greatness. Okay. So I'm going to take the payment out of it. And so you guys are not going to have to pay for this. I'm going to show you how to enroll in just a moment. But before I do, I want to bring up my good friend, Arttemis Kasane. And Arttemis Kasane is going to he's going to take the mic. I'm going to drop the mic, and he's going to take it, and he's going to carry us through. He's got a special message prepared for us. We might go a couple of minutes over, okay? We might say 2-3 minutes to show you guys how to take advantage of the free coaching program that we're announcing today. It's launching today. I'm excited about it because this is not a problem that's going to be fixed on one webinar. We've got to take your hand and we got to walk you through the next couple of years through this crisis. Arttemis Kasane is my personal coach. He's one that has coached millionaires and billionaires, as I've told you. The reason why I hired Arttemis is because I see myself, and as God has shown me, reaching millions and millions of entrepreneurs around the world, and I needed the kind of coach that could help me to do it. The number that I had in mind when I started coaching, you'll remember this, Arttemis, was that I saw 10 million entrepreneurs that I could personally help, personally help outside of real estate even. And Arttemis was the right coach for me to hire to get me there. And so with that, Arttemis, I'm gonna let you take it away. We love each and every one of you. I'll be back just to share with you how to take advantage of our special free coaching program.
Hey everybody, Arttemis here, also known as Arttemis Prime. I'm going to be working with Knolly on the Knolly Success Coaching. Super excited to be here. And 6 months ago, I was doing my thing, training with Roger Hamilton, futurist, working with over 300 people globally, leading a conscious entrepreneur movement. And I was on fire. And Knolly and I went to a workshop together with my mentor, Roger Hamilton. Some of you know Roger and Roger's work, phenomenal work. We're sitting in the audience, and I had to drag Knolly out of the house because, you know, Knolly is a little bit of an introvert. Most of you don't realize that, but he kind of like stays out in his little house and does his videos and his funnels, and he's all just hiding away from everybody. I'm like, Knolly, come on, get out of the house, get out of the house. Let's go see Roger's amazing. And so I had to text him 10 times. Finally, Josie said, Knolly, you should really go check this Roger guy out. So we're in the audience, and Roger's teaching us self-awareness. He's teaching us self-mastery. He's teaching us self-expression in business. Self-awareness is your personal brand. Self-mastery is your product brand, and self-expression is your company brand. And so Roger leads over 1.3 million entrepreneurs globally at the Genius University, and we're sitting in the audience, and he's teaching us how to know ourselves. And in Roger's system, he's a steel lord, and I'm a blaze star. And he's like, well, a lord needs a star and a deal maker to complete the team. And now he looks over at me and goes, this was like 7 months ago. He's like, well, we should probably go into business together. I'm like, okay. So Knolly and I have been working on this project for 6 months. Even before the coronavirus, Knolly and I were preparing for all of you. And it was really just an act of God. And I'm here to ignite your vision, your passion, your clarity, and your direction. And I'm going to be bringing in very complimentary training to help you cut through the noise, eliminate distraction, get focused, and get aligned so that you can achieve more with less. There's so much that we don't know. Even 4 years ago when I came into Knolly's life, there was so much I introduced to him that has really helped him grow as an entrepreneur. And so I'm here to also help all of you plant the right seeds, water those seeds, and sprout into a successful business. Been an entrepreneur for 10 years. I have 6 streams of income. I've worked at over 3 holistic medical clinics. I've served over 40,000 people in my 20-year career. I started at 20 as a professional coach, and I'm 41, so it's almost 21 years. And so I have so much to give, but the reason people are struggling right now is because of fear, impending doom, uncertainty, doubt. And so I just want to call it out there and ask everybody, how are you breathing right now? Are you breathing in your chest? Or are you taking a deep breath? Everyone take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take another deep breath in. Breathe down into your solar plexus. Fear is in the chest. Faith and trust is in the solar plexus. So one of the most powerful things you can do right now, as you're building your SOI, 2 hours of lead gen every day, and going out and helping people buy and sell, the most powerful thing you can do is breathe. And it's often overlooked, but every every leader right now, and you are all leaders, remember that. Every single person on this call is a leader. Even if you didn't think you were a leader, now you have to act as if you're a leader to take your actions and become successful in this new economy. You're all leaders here. And every leader has power in their breath, power in their mind, and power in their body. How are you breathing? How are you breathing in the morning before you start your day? Do conscious breath. And I'll have some videos on this soon for our group. But it's time to take command of your fear through breath. And in scripture, not religion, and Knolly and I were talking about God and heaven and the laws of creation. And, you know, we welcome all faiths here. We welcome all faiths, all people who believe in higher power. It doesn't really matter what your religion is, because you know what? In heaven, there's no religion. Religion is man-made. And in scripture, the Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Now, what does that mean? If you're feeling fear and impending doom, and scripture is saying it's the substance of things hoped for. Substance is your feeling. Evidence of things unseen, that's your vision. So what we need right now to get through this planetary crisis is feeling and vision. Learn how to create coherent emotion at will, and then have a clearly defined vision for your business. 3 months out, like Knolly said, how are you going to generate 3 times your monthly income in the next 3 months? That's the evidence of things unseen. So faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Feeling and vision are the 2 most powerful tools we have to overcome fear. And this is actually also known in neuroscience. Our reptilian brain, this is where most people are living right now, is in fight or flight. And we have a limbic brain, and then we have this neocortex. So we have this triune brain. We have our reptilian brain, limbic brain, neocortex. And you want to be pulled by your vision, not pushed by your problems. Look at your vision every morning and get clear on who you are and where you choose to be, and be pulled by that vision, not pushed by your problems. Because as you start to get in your vision, as you start to take action from your vision, faith with works is life. As you start to be pulled by your vision and taking action, you start getting out of the reptilian brain. And as you continue your breath, the breath starts to align with action. The action starts to align with success. And you may have to do some uncomfortable actions in the next 3 months, and we'll talk about that in later videos. Some of you who are choosing to be leaders right now are going to get uncomfortable for a little while. And that's how we grow. That's how we stretch as leaders in real estate. So that's the first thing I want to share with you is go back and read that scripture. Look at your vision. Remind yourself of your vision every day. When you wake up in the morning, look at it. Speak it out loud. Write it down. You know, there's so much power in visualization, imagination, prayer, and the written word when we start to activate it and then translate it into our business. And, you know, so many of us are using all these digital technologies, and, you know, I've got my goals written down right over there. There they are. There's my dream board. There's my altar. You know, so every day, every morning, I'm pulled by my vision. I'm starting my day in breath and vision and hydration and affirmation and movement and prayer. And this stuff works when you work it, when you really, really make that commitment. The next thing I want to share with you that's going to help you get the edge is Teachability Index. Now, all of you come in here are very teachable. We got 237 people on the Zoom today. Wow. That's like, Knolly, that's like a 45% conversion. If you're marketers, I've been a marketer studying direct sales, video, YouTube for 10 years. We have 237 people here. That's like 45% conversion. That's like 3 to 4 times what we normally get, because I feel the call of your hearts. Knolly feels the call of your hearts. You know, we're going to be giving this stuff away for free forever through the Knolly Success Coaching, because the planet's crying out for help. And it's time for all of us to grow our teachability index. What is teachability? It's your willingness to learn and your willingness to accept change. Now, many people have a high willingness to learn, but they have maybe a low willingness to accept change, which is why you're still where you are financially. To grow your income, you have to become more teachable. And you have to be very careful who you listen to. So I recommend you listen to Uncle Knolly. and Artemis Prime in the next 12 months and really narrow your focus. Now, if you have a high willingness to change and if you have a high willingness to learn, excuse me, and a low willingness to accept change, what's causing that? Because you're not teachable. If you have a high willingness to accept change and a high willingness to learn and a low willingness to accept change, why is that happening in your life right now? Think about that. That's because of overwhelm and distraction. How many of you are overwhelmed right now? I would say I've been overwhelmed. You know, I haven't even been watching the news, but I've been out there doing 3 Facebook Lives a week, coaching. I've been sending out 20 and 40 texts a day, helping my teams all over the world. And yeah, a lot of overwhelm right now. So in our Knowledge Success Coaching Program, in unit number 1, I put a video there to help clear the overwhelm for you in 3 simple steps. In order for you all to grow in your teachability index, which is essential right now, we all, myself included, Knolly included, we all have to become more teachable and grow. Knolly's rising up in his teachability index as a leader. I'm rising up in my teachability index as a professional coach, and I'm also a licensed agent too. I just got my license in January. Thank you. So I'm reading Successful Listings right now. I'm plugging into like all of you right now. And until you tone down the noise and distraction, you're not going to have the focus and the teachability you need to get to where you want to be a year from now in your vision. And this is the big pink elephant online in all the brokerages and all entrepreneurship worldwide is overwhelm, and no one's really talking about it or teaching how to fix it. Well, hey, I got a solution. And then as you clear that overwhelm and you get focused, Charles knows what I'm talking about. Mina knows what I'm talking about because I've been coaching them for 3 to 4 months, teaching them clear the noise, let go of the distractions, get laser focused on who you are and where you are, and take the right actions in the right order so you can succeed in your business. And one of the reasons people don't succeed is they're not teachable enough. And they're not doing the right things in the right order. A lot of people fail in businesses because they do the right things out of order. And be very careful who you listen to, because I was taking a walk with a 17-year real estate agent yesterday. And she's like, Arttemis, why am I still struggling? And I said, because you've been listening to the wrong people. It's time to listen to Knolly. And this is where I get to edify my mentor, my coach. We coach each other, by the way. You know, I'm at his house a couple of days a week. I'm showing his blind spots. He's showing my blind spots. And so we all need a coach. You're all leaders right now. Pretend like you're an Olympic athlete, and this is the race. This is the time for you to really jump in. And as I was walking with this agent, she was saying, why am I failing after 17 years? You're listening to the wrong person. Listen to Knolly, because Knolly has proven systems that have worked for everyone who has applied them. And so if you've been following other coaches, unsubscribe from those emails. If you're distracted, unsubscribe from your push notifications. Just clear out the noise and focus on what Knolly's going to teach you in the next few months, because it's going to give you so much more of the right things to do in the right order. The reason people fail in business is they do the right things in the wrong order. So the right things in the right order is what we need right now, especially during this planetary crisis. Crisis in Greek means decision. And we all have some really sincere and powerful decisions to make in our life, in getting clear in our vision, getting more teachable, getting more aware of where we are in the training balance scale. So the third thing I want to teach you and remind you of, and remember, learning is remembering what you already know. Teaching is demonstrating that you know it, and doing is reminding others they know it just as well as you. So some of this is what I'm sharing with you right now. You know this, and I'm reminding you of it. Even for those of you who think this is new information, this is not new. It's here. It's right here. Like you can feel what I'm saying to you in your heart of hearts. Some of you can feel what I'm saying as truth. And if it's true, follow it from heart, not from mind. The mind is split, the heart is one. So as we start to breathe and align with our vision, we're bringing our consciousness into our hearts. As we start to follow the right mentors, we're following their hearts. The mind is split, the heart is one. Remember that. And we need a lot of heart right now to get through what we're about to get through on the planet. And we are stronger together, all of us. As we come together, remember, ask for help, reach out to each other, reach up, reach across. And how many of you love asking for help? How many of you, is it hard to ask for help? This is a major, major block. And so, don't let the free price tag devalue what we're going to be offering you in the next 3 months. Reach up and reach across and ask, reach out. Because I got hundreds of videos. Nolly's got hundreds of videos to share with you. But we're here to give you the right information in the right order. And you got to ask. You got to reach up and ask us for help. The training balance scale is the final thing I'll share with you right now. And this is so simple, but so elusive for most of us. On the left side of the training balance scale, we have the dream, the why, and the motivation. On the right side, we have the strategies, the techniques, and the how. So to be a successful agent and to grow our business, where does our success come from? The motivation or the strategies? The why or the techniques? The dream or the how? Think about that. If there was ever a time to get clear on your motivation, that time is now. Because we don't necessarily need more techniques and strategies. We need to understand, why are we doing this? Why are we going out and serving others in this real estate business? Real estate is conscious partnership. Real estate is giving people financial freedom. Real estate is helping be a mediator and to create life-giving partnerships between the buyers and the sellers that give land, that give homes, that give life. And I can see that being a professional coach for 20 years. Most agents maybe don't realize that they're in the partnership business and they're learning how to partner. But why are you doing this? Why are you in real estate? What's your motivation? People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it, Simon Sinek says. Great marketing teacher. And so as you define your vision, and as you get pulled by your vision, not pushed by your problems, you're all going to have to dig a little deeper and get on the left side of the training balance scale. Or you're going to quit, or you're going to self-sabotage, or you're going to fail. Be pulled by your vision, be powered by your why, your purpose, your passion. Where does purpose and passion come from? Heart. It's all right here. Everyone touch your heart right now. Rub the heart. Take a deep, full body breath. Breathe. Breathe into your heart. Drop your breath down here and breathe. Exhale. Your purpose, your passion for your business, all your dreams are stored in your heart. All your passion is in your heart. All your purpose is in your heart. And remember, as you write your vision, as you do your daily practices, as you start to get heart-centered, then your heart is a magnetic force that will draw all the deals and all the opportunities and all the people you need into your business. And I'm going to be giving you some more tools later on of how to align the mind and the heart in your business and how to get more focused, more empowered, more clear, so that you can literally become magnetic for your good and pull what you need off the radar into your business. One of my prosperity teachers, and this is a really powerful book. Feel free to prosper. This is all mindset, by the way. It's like, some people would say 80% of your success is mindset. Some people would say 99% of your success is the mindset, the dream, the motivation, the why. And I was talking to Marilyn for 4 hours on the phone. Man, she likes to talk a lot. She was talking way too much, but she gave me one nugget of gold. She said, if you're in sales, doesn't matter if you're a car salesman, a real estate agent, network marketer, if you're in sales, 99% is off your radar. And without a prosperity consciousness, without a heart-centered vision and purpose, you may not be attracting that. You may be pushing it away. And so as you start to get into your breath, your heart, your vision, and you start to plant those seeds and water those seeds every day, and you still got to do the actions, guys and gals, because remember, faith with works is life. So it's not just the faith, it's also the action that Uncle Knolly is going to teach you. These left and right brain come together, and you start to get alignment and power, and you will achieve so much more with so much less as you start applying these things that I'm teaching you today. So Arttemis Prime here. I love you all. Thank you, Knolly, for giving me a little bit of a stage to share some things I've learned in the past 20 years. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you, Arttemis. That's beautiful stuff, man. You brought a tear to my eye. I tell you that, and that's not easy to do, by the way. So we love you, Arttemis. And as you guys can see, you're getting not just me, like Arttemis said, the how-to, quote unquote, what people think is practical, but you're getting both of us, okay? And so you're getting the full deal. So we talked about these 3 steps, these 3 secrets: how to reload, how to rebound, how to rewire, okay? And how do you get the Knolly Success Coaching, okay? Here's how to join, guys. You go to knolly.com, you register to join the Knolly group. That's it, okay? All you're gonna do, you're gonna put in your first name and your email address, and that's it. That'll take you to the next page, which will give you the details on joining our members-only Facebook group, okay? And so it's free. Go to knolly.com. Like we said, it's Christ-centered, but we open it up to all faiths. You know, it's 100% free. Always will be. My chance to give back, Artemis's chance to give back. And guess what? It doesn't just stop with me and Arttemis. You guys are going to be sharing in the group as well. So that's where it is. Knolly.com. You go, you sign up. As Arttemis said, we've been working on this for so long. But we had a price tag on it, and we just took the price tag away and made it absolutely free. Hey, we love you guys. We thank you for being part of our call today. We know we've gone a little bit over, and we thank you for sticking it out with us. This will be recorded, okay? And everybody that registered for this class will also get a copy of this recording as well, all right? So we love you guys, and we wish you success, every success. We're going to see you on the inside, guys. We're going to see you on our Facebook group. Love you. And you want me? Should I stay? Okay. So, guys, the class is over. The class is officially over. So we know you've got things to do. Like what? Right? Like what do I got to do? But we're going to go ahead and hang out after class. For a little bit of Q&A. So if anybody does have any questions, we'll do that. But just so you guys know, if you need to jump off, that's okay. Our class is officially over, but we will go ahead and jump off. I mean, anybody that needs to jump off, but I'll stay back and you guys can ask Uncle Knolly any questions. Let me make sure I don't have any. That was Josie popped in and said, you need to take questions. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll take those.
We had a couple of questions coming in, Knolly, but the chat's so long, I think I lost track of the question. There was one good question someone asked.
I got a question here where they're asking, how do we sign up for the webinar today?
Yeah, if you guys have questions about the niches that Knolly talked over, you know, the Facebook group, what we're going to be doing on the Facebook group for all of you, just jump in.
Yeah.
Jesse says, I didn't catch the 7 pillars. Is that the same ones that you went over? Or the 8 pillars, Jesse? Is that the same one you went over in the YouTube videos?
Yeah, I do talk about, this is the core of my training. So I do talk about the 8 pillars in my YouTube videos as well. But just remember, we'll talk more about the 8 pillars while we're coaching together, okay? But it starts off, it's mindset, activities, people, systems, tools, money, accountability, and training. Okay, those are the 8 pillars that my training is based on. Oh, look at Mark. Oh, Mark, what's up? Mark Longoria just posted the 8 pillars. See, we got some good students in here, man. I tell you, we got some leaders in here.
I'll field the questions too, Knolly. So Keisha White, hey Keisha, what's up, girl? She says, for new agents that haven't sold a home yet, where should I begin learning?
Yeah, if you haven't sold a home yet, you need to start with listings. Okay. Too many people are taught, you got to join a team first, or you got to do, now some of that's true. I mean, for some people that will be true, but I say start right here. That's where I started. I was able to take 21 listings during my first 74 days in real estate. Okay. Not even 3 months in the business. I took 21 listings and I got off to a big start. And this is the book where I reveal how I did that. You can go to Knolly.com, you download it for free. That's where I would start.
Yeah. And that's also going to be in the Facebook group as well. That book's available in unit number 2. We're creating success units for everybody. And unit number 2 has a link to Success with Listings.
Hey, I like that. It's in the Facebook group. Just go there and get it. Yeah.
It's in the Facebook group too. It's at Knolly.com, scroll down to the bottom, or it's in the Facebook group at unit number 2.
Somebody else was asking Arttemis about that they're in commercial real estate and if this would help them as well. And so I've kind of coined if you go to Knolly.com, you'll see that I've coined it as a free coaching for real estate agents and entrepreneurs. Okay. So I think it will help. I mean, it will be probably a little bit more geared toward not the commercial side, but more the residential side in the teaching. But I teach a lot of quantum physics. That's the number one thing I teach. And Arttemis teaches mindset. And I know the stuff that we teach is really relevant in any business. But some of the pieces won't be, right, Arttemis? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Success with Listings is really for mostly residential and luxury.
No, I'm talking about the program, Knolly Coaching.
Oh, Knolly Coaching. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Any others?
Sheila asked, thanks. When is the first coaching call on the Facebook group?
Next week. And Arttemis and I are going to sit down and decide what the dates are. We're gonna live stream them into the group. That's how they'll be delivered. But we'll have to figure out, the dates on those, and we'll release that probably this weekend.
Alex asks, what technology and content do we use to attract sellers in this online world?
What technology?
Yeah, to attract sellers online.
Well, that's again. This is where I really unpack it for you, is in that book. But we'll address that's a big question, put it that way. But I would say the first thing you want to do is you want to start focusing on what you're going to focus on. Number 1, your sphere of influence. Number 2 is going to be your niche. Okay, and depending on what niche you pick, that's going to dictate what steps you take in dominating that particular niche. I personally think that the pre-NODs and the which is pre-foreclosure, and the old expireds is the best niche going. And I have an hour where we talk about the technology that you're going to use to attract them. On that call that we talked about earlier, you go to landvoice.com/niche, and you'll get a 1-hour training where we talk about the tools, the systems, the scripts, and everything.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm picking up from the Tribe, Knolly, is a lot of people get into the competitive mind or the creative mind. So there's a great book called The Science of Getting Rich, and by Wallace Wattles. And as soon as you get trapped thinking that everyone's going to be doing NODs and everyone's going to be competing against each other for NODs, that's the competitive mind.
Right.
That's the lower mind.
Yeah.
When you get into your creative mind, which is who are you? Why do you do what you do? Working with your SOI, building your identity. That's the creative mind. So be very careful of that competitive mind, guys, because it's there to keep you safe, but it's not there to help you thrive. We're wired to survive. Thriving is a choice. So you want to stay in your creative mind, and Knolly teaches in Success with Listings, how to become famous and how to get in that creative mind. And that really transcends a lot of technology. We use the technology because it's leverage, but we want to create influence before leverage, ultimately. So that's just what I'm feeling like. The competition out there is not real. It's just based in separation. Mm-hmm. Competition is actually illusion of polarity.
Yeah.
When you get in that creative mind, and what is that creative mind? Well, Knolly talks a lot about it in Successful Listings. He doesn't talk about it in that way, but remember that the power of staying in the creative mind and creating your SOI, creating your identity, creating your niche, and staying in that creative mode gets you out of competition. Next question. Are we going to start seeing foreclosures again? Sam Silver asks, are we going to start seeing foreclosures again?
Big time. Yeah. Now, what's going to happen though is there's going to be a moratorium against foreclosures for the time being. In fact, I've got 2 listings right now that have foreclosure sale dates on them that I expect will be pushed back. Okay. But you're going to start seeing more people in foreclosure. And I talked about that at the beginning of this call together. And also, if you go to the Land Voice webinar, we talk a lot about that. That's what the pre-NODs are all about. You'll find them on that particular. But yeah, that's going to be what's going to happen is I think instead of going into foreclosure, people will right size and they'll be able to have that conversation. And I think banks will be more lenient in terms of, okay, we realize that you're in an $800,000 home. So, and we realize that you're trying to move into a 500, which is what you really can't afford. And so they're going to allow more of that, like the missed payments that are going on people's credit report right now. I think that information will be overlooked, but they're going to have a human being jump in to overlook it. Hold on one second, guys. I'm getting an echo here. Hold on one second.
These are great questions, guys. Thanks. It's really, really good questions. All right. Let's see if I can get, yeah, so. Sam says, are the banks going to be kind to homeowners? I think Knolly just covered that.
Hold on a second. Josie has a question.
Somebody says, I entered my name and email on your site, then click get started. However, the next page isn't populated. That's described in the show.
Oh, it's not. Okay. So, yeah. So we're getting a lot of people signing up, and it might be breaking that page. Let me just go look here real quick.
Yeah, go see what's happening, Knolly. I'll field some questions here.
Okay.
Yini says, seriously, that is the best book. I've read it 4 times. Which one, Yini? We talked about 3 books today. The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Success with Listings, and Feel Free to Prosper.
Yeah, so just real quick, guys, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So somebody's saying that, and it might just be that there's too many people signing up. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, you got it.
So here's how you sign up, guys. You go to Knolly.com. You're going to get on this homepage here. And then you're going to put in your first name. You'll put in your email address. And then you click this green button. It says click here to get started. As soon as you click that button, it's going to open a subsequent page. And that page is going to show you the steps that you're going to need to follow to jump into the group. The group is completely sponsored by our mentorship masters. It tells you what the benefits are. And we do ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because this is something that we told our YouTubers, hey, we're making this absolutely free to you being part of our YouTube channel. So, and that's free as well. So that is working. That is working fine.
Knolly Success Coaching.
Yeah, it's called Knolly Success Coaching is the name of the Knolly Success Coaching. But you want to go through the steps that I'm telling you, because you don't need to know the name of the Facebook group, because on this page, there's a button that you click. It says click here to join the Facebook group. That's how you join it. That make sense?
Got it. Understood.
Okay.
Mark asks, how do we get into new construction? How do we get past the buyer going around us to go straight to the developer?
Yeah, we're going to have a whole class on that. We can't unpack that. And that's a little bit off topic. That's good. That's a great question. Mm-hmm. And new construction is part of what I teach. I have a course on new construction, but it's a little bit past or outside of the scope of this conversation.
Excellent. So stay tuned, Mark, for that video. Sandra Lee asked, today we have to work different with our without face-to-face physically, but on social distance, and to be successful taking listings consistently, what do you suggest to get listings in this new environment right now?
So right now, I would say over the next 2, 3, or 4 weeks, your focus really shouldn't necessarily be on getting listings per se. And I'm gonna give you a couple of things. Number one, you want to write down how many listings do you want. Okay, and this is very, very critical. A lot of people overlook this particular step. What's the name of the person that asked that, Arttemis?
Sandra Lee.
Sandra. So a lot of times, Sandra, we get stuck, as Arttemis said, in a certain, we get stuck in the how do I do this? So just write down your goal. That's the first step. You want to do 6 deals over the next 3 months, 6 listings. Okay. Now you've already placed your order, and it's up to the universe to deliver that. See, and this is all part of what I teach. See, we've been given dominion over this realm. This is in Genesis chapter 1. So that, and scripture says that the man and the woman was given dominion over all things. Okay, now we lost our dominion for a little while, but Christ came back Christ came to give us that dominion back. Okay, so if you're walking in dominion, you place your order just like you would go to any restaurant, or I go and order me an Americano. I place it the way I want it. I say, I want 6 deals. That's what I want. And then what you want to focus on is not getting listings. You want to focus on seeing how your people are doing. Every single one of you should be working on cleaning up your database right now, because you got time to do it. I've been preaching to people about getting their database cleaned for years. 70% of your business, 70% comes from your sphere of influence, from your database. Okay. So now's a good time to clean it up, and they're going to be expecting your call. Okay. So you just call people. Don't call them about selling their house. Just call them to see how they're doing. If they're thinking about selling their house, the conversation will come up. Okay. Because here's what they're going to ask you. Well, how are you doing right now? You're calling to see how well, I got to tell you, Sandra, this is what you're going to tell them. I got to tell you, Margaret, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Thank God we're safe. But our biggest need right now is listings. Okay. Who do you know that might be thinking about putting their home on the market after this craziness is over? Okay. And that's how you can kind of work your way into that conversation.
I got 2 yesterday.
Oh, by the way, Josie's reminded me, she actually got 2 deals yesterday. She got a buyer. How'd you get the buyer?
I just called to check on my friend.
She called to check on one friend. This happened in one day. And the friend is holed up at a lake house, it's trying to get back home. And she's like, look, we want to buy a house, and it's in the future. They want to buy in the future, but she said, we've already got you down. We're going to buy with you. And then she picked up that listing that we talked about earlier. Just by calling to check and see how people are doing.
My first 2, because I'm a new agent.
She's a brand new agent, just got her first 2 deals, Yeah.
Ryan says, do the 2s is still applicable, right?
Yeah, do the 2 is still applicable. That's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Ryan, because I teach that every single day you should what we call do the 2. Okay, do the 2. What is that? That's 2 hours of lead generation every single day. I did mine this morning. Did you do yours? And that's typically from 9 to 11. Okay, and that's where you're actually your lead generating for prospects, for future prospects. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. So do the 2. But when you do it with sensitivity, okay? And you just call to see how people are doing.
S. Baker says, what are the other streams of incomes besides hours for dollars?
Yeah, I have a train. I actually teach on that. I'd have to pull that up. Let me see. So what I could tell you how I do it, but I don't want to. Let me not tell them how I do it, because I do teach you guys everything that I do, but you got to understand my personality profile is probably different than 90+% of realtors. And so as a result, I'm an engineer, is basically my personality profile. And as a result, I'm not even supposed to be a successful agent whatsoever. Okay, according to all the studies that I've taken. And so I do different things than what a high D would be able to do. What I teach is that you always want to lead generate around your personality profile. Okay, that's very important. Mm-hmm. But let me, yeah. I'm gonna pull that up. Let me see if I can pull that up while you throw me another question.
Okay. Everyone take a deep breath in. A lot of good information today. Breath helps us ground it. Yenny asks, in your book, you talk about the power of writing our own book or obtaining your program from our book. Do you think that it's still best in this market, or are letters better right now? Books or letters?
See, and this is where people get stuck in the whole idea of either or, and that's the wrong place to get stuck in. And a lot of people don't succeed because they're stuck that way. Should I do this or should I do that? Okay, the tactics that I teach are what we call evergreen. Okay. These are evergreen tactics. These will be relevant today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, and even 10 years from now. They're evergreen tactics. So that's the reason why you're not gonna see in here how to do Facebook ads, okay? Because that's not evergreen. This is just stuff that's based on the Homo sapien human behavior that has never changed since Adam and Eve, okay? So you should do both. You know, you really should do both.
She's asking about the book, the program.
Yeah, she's asking about the program that I sell, which is your
Right.
customizable
Right.
book. Yeah, and yeah, you should still be using your customizable book, but just be sensitive. Like right now, I mean, obviously, you know, I used to have a boss when I worked at, you know, I haven't worked for someone else since I was 23 years old, and I've worked from home since then. So I'm like completely tooled for this. But I used to have a boss when I used to work at Target. He would say, Knolly, common sense dictates. I was like, what does that mean? I'd say, well, should I do this or that? Common sense dictates. Well, I've learned since then that common sense isn't so common. Not all of us have it. I have very little common sense, by the way. I'm just getting better. But anyway, when we have a pandemic on, obviously you're going to change some things. But don't go wrapping your whole business around a pandemic. This is a 4 to 6 week event, okay? In order for you to have any traction, even on the concepts of lead generation and everything, it takes about 90 days. We all know this. Brian Buffini teaches this as well. It takes about 90 days to even ramp up on a promotion. Now you can do it in about 30 days or so. But by the time you ramped up a promotion, okay, for the pandemic, it's going to be gone. Okay, what you want to be doing is focusing on the aftermath of the pandemic. Okay, the aftermath. That's when all this stuff is going to start happening, and you want to be focusing on that. So, yeah, but yeah, the stuff that I teach in terms of having your own customizable book in my Success with Listing system, that's still going to be super relevant, because the main question that people are going to have is, which realtor am I going to list with? Because they're going to be listing.
Yeah.
Those that are prepared for listings already are going to be ready for the windfall.
Awesome. Yeah, now keep your answers a little shorter so we can get through the rest of these. One person asked, is there going to be a reading list of books, like a book of the month in our?
Yeah, we do a book of the month, but I have my top 20 books. Those of you that have this book, Triple My Listings, which is also free, I have a top 20 list of books in the back. But we do, at my mentorship masters, we've always done a book of the month, and we'll have a book of the month here as well with our success coaching.
Yeah, Robert loves to read. He says, is there any good books on quantum physics?
Well, the book I love most is the one Arttemis turned me on to initially, which is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I mean, the quantum physics book I love the most is the Bible, because the Bible is a quantum physics book, okay? Mm-hmm. Especially the New Testament. But The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy is really, 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 really good. And then, of course, things like what Arttemis said earlier, Feel Free to Prosper is another really, 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 really good one. Asking It Is Given is one that Josie's reading right now. There's a bunch of good ones. And that's going to be the majority of the books that we recommend to you guys. So don't get too hung up on that now. As you go through the program, we're going to be giving you the right stuff in the right order, because there is an order to which books you read first as well.
All right.
What's up? Melinda has her first closing tomorrow. Woo! All right.
Congratulations, Melinda.
All right, Melinda. Love it.
So, Jadir, I hope I'm saying your name right. Jadir asks, Knolly, would the VA market be a great niche because the loans are 100%? How can I, as a former veteran, help my brothers and sisters in arms?
Yeah, so we've got a guy in our group, Sam Silver, who he helps heroes, and that's basically what he does. He actually has a website that he just, Sam, if you're still on, put that website in here again, because that he's always coming up with these really cool websites. But he'll be the one that can help you. He's part of our group as well, and he runs his entire business around helping, whether it be veterans, police officers, heroes, basically firemen, people like that. So, and he has a phenomenal program that he's part of that he can share with us as well.
Yeah, Sam commented, I've been calling past clients and checking in with them and asking, how may I be of service?
How may I be of service? I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's really important for all of our SOIs right now. Just calling and checking in.
Okay, so Sam, he says he put his website in the chat box. For those of you watching the video afterward, it's samsheroes.com. Samsheroes.com. You can check him out, see what he does. Good model to follow.
Awesome.
What's up, Jessie Thompson? Jessie's in the house. She's sharing a lot of good stuff with us here, guys. So take note of what her notes that she's sharing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. Yeah, the community is really jumping in and commenting, and I'm just fielding the questions only right now.
Yeah, and we actually had not intended to do a Q&A session. It's just that Josie mentioned that there might be some questions that we probably could jump in and
yeah. Yeah, one of our leaders asked, can you elaborate on lead gen and personality profile?
Yeah, so, and this is, actually Arttemis could teach this as much as me, but so for the past, so when I was 19 years old, or maybe I was 20, my wife and I, we actually met at church. We went to the same church, and they were doing this. Oh, you said keep them brief, huh, Arttemis?
Yeah, keep them brief. There's only about, well, gosh.
Okay, I'll keep it brief. You'll get the long answer. You know,
I'll teach a whole video on personality profiling.
Yeah, we'll do a whole video on it. But the thing is, what I first got trained in was what they call the DISC. It's called the DISC. Okay, the DISC profile. So when you look at a person's profile, you can see based on their profile what they should focus on. Like, for example, I'm an ISC. That's a very rare and uncommon profile in the sales business. You usually don't see ISCs in sales. These are typically admin people. They work behind the scenes. They're introverted. They don't like to be in front of people. That's my personality profile. Now, what helps me is I have a big eye. Okay, I have a big old eye in there. So my eye helps. So I do like to be around people, and I'm okay, comfortable around people. But if you took somebody that's just only an SC, then you're not gonna, that's not a people person. So that person, like Lance Loken is an example. Okay, he's a realtor that does about 1,200, let me say it again, he does about 1,200 real estate sales a year, but he does not like to be around people, okay? It's not, there's nothing against him, it's just his profile, it's just the way he's wired, okay? He's behind the scenes type of guy. So he's got, you know, buyer agents and listing agents that go out on appointments. He doesn't physically go out on appointments to meet people. So, and if you're a DI, for example, then we're going to put you door knocking. We're going to have you doing, you know, crazy stuff that like I would be, like I've never made a cold call in my life ever. And I sold over 1,000 houses in 10 years. Okay, my first 10 years, never made a cold call, never done any of that stuff because it's just not my personality profile. So when you learn your personality profile, you start to do all your real estate business around how you're wired. And you know what that does for you? It makes it exciting. Now, all of a sudden, when you're doing real estate, you're like, hey, this is fun, right? It makes it fun for you.
Yeah, so how are the accountability coaches going to be organized and connected?
So the way accountability coaching works is very, very simple. And I'm actually going to walk you guys through this, is that you guys are going to coach each other. Okay, so it ain't just Uncle Not. See, here's how, this is how Jesus did it. You know, he had his people doing stuff, right? He didn't just do everything, right? He said, hey, I want you to go buy us this, or you go get that, you know? So what we're going to do, coaching is very simple, guys. And I'm going to break this down for you. And there's a lot, I respect all coaches. I'm a coach. Arttemis is a coach, and we charge big bucks. I mean, to coach with me is $1,000 a month or $2,500 a month, depending on which package you choose, okay? But when you really break the essence of accountability coaching down, it breaks down into 3 questions, okay? Did you meet, exceed, or fall short of your goal? Those are the only 3 outcomes. So here's how it's gonna work, real simple. I'm gonna tell you in 20 seconds. Number 1, you guys are gonna have an accountability worksheet that I've created that you're gonna fill out every single week. It's gonna have your number 1 goal, like your goal is to make 30 calls, or your goal is to go on 3 appointments, whatever your goal is. Then you're going to write down your lead generation time every single day, Monday through Friday. And then you're going to email a copy of your accountability worksheet to your accountability partner, which is going to be somebody else in the community that you find and you partner with. Okay. And some of them are actually going to be groups of 2 or 3 people or 4 people, whatever. accountability pods, if you will. And then you guys are going to go back and forth with some specific questions that I have down. You know, did you meet, exceed, or fall short of your goal? And then, so I basically teach you how to coach each other. That's basically it. It's a 20-minute phone call that happens once a week, and it's going to keep you on track, I guarantee, because a lot of people don't know this, Arttemis, but 80%, according to USA Today, 80% of all small businesses fail, okay? 80% of all small businesses fail, but only 20% of franchises fail, okay? Like a Chick-fil-A, they're probably less than that. Probably like 5% of Chick-fil-A's fail. Why? Because they have extreme accountability. If your numbers start to get low, guess what you're going to start getting? A phone call. And if they go even lower, somebody's going to get on a plane and they're going to be in your store trying to find out what's going on. Okay, why are your numbers down? Okay, that's called accountability. And because I guarantee you, if I'm gonna leave it off at this. I guarantee you, if Uncle Knolly was to parachute down into your business and just spend 2 weeks with you over your shoulder, you would get blank done. You get stuff done. I was gonna say another word. You get stuff done, right? Stuff would get done. And because you don't have accountability, a lot of you guys are failing. And so we're gonna have the accountability partners rocking that way. But I'm gonna teach you all that. I got a whole system for that.
A lot of the DIs are commenting saying, yeah, I'm a DI. I love cold calling. I love door knocking. They're like, yeah. I'm in it. I'm all in.
Yeah, DIs go out. They're the ones that go out with the shotgun like, hey, man, you got some ammunition? Oh, no, I didn't think of that. Oh, I need ammunition? You know, I can make fun of them. I'll make fun of them because I teach them all the time.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I think we got most of the questions answered. One final call to action for all of you still. Thank you. There's still 132 people here on the Zoom today. So you guys are awesome, guys and gals. One clear call to action for me as a success coach, as the Millionaires Coach, is focus, build, success. So when you log in, when you go to Knolly.com and then you get access to the private Facebook group, make sure that you watch Unit 1. There's a little sidebar there where it says discussion units, you know, all that stuff. Click on units, go to Unit 1, watch my 6-minute video, copy paste the Google Doc, and do those 3 steps in the next 2 weeks, because those 3 steps are going to give you the leverage, the focus, and the clarity you need to get more shit done. I'm happy saying shit.
Get shit done, baby.
Yeah, you're going to get more shit done if you do those 3 steps in unit number 1. Unit number 1 is the first thing all agents should be doing before they start reading successful listings and building their, SOI, and building their database and going out and capturing, and wherever you are in your business, unit number 1 is going to give you that edge you're looking for, because it's addressing overwhelm. It's addressing digital overwhelm into digital hygiene, into focus, which builds success. And so we remind all of you to do unit number 1 with exacting specificity, with ruthless discipline, with the love of your prosperity and abundance for your business in the next 12 months. Do unit 1, and I love you all, and I bless you all. All right, I think we're pretty good. Christoph put the Land Voice link once again. Thank you, Christoph.
Okay, I'm going to end the meeting. Is that good? We good for that?
Everyone's just saying thank you.
Okay, cool. All right.
Thank you, Knolly.
You're welcome. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this. And we love you. We'll see you on the inside.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thanks, Knolly.
God bless you.
Make sure you don't shit on yourself or anybody else.
Don't get caught in the should-haves, huh?
Yeah.